Today we present you with 10 forgotten wrestlers you might not realize have died. Number 10. Mike Shaw. The name Mike Shaw may not ring a bell to most fans, but the man is responsible for some of the most iconic gimmicks of all time. Debuting in the 1980s for Stampede Wrestling, Shaw first competed under the name Makan Singh and feuded with Bret and Owen Hart as the promotion's top heel. Signing with WCW in 1989, Shaw became Norman the Lunatic, and in 1993 became the malicious monk Friar Ferguson in the WWF. After complaints from the Catholic Church about the idea of a man of faith beating people up, the character was quickly dropped, and Shaw got his most infamous gimmick of Bastion Booger, an overweight monster of a man who ate everything in his path and had serious BO. Remaining as Booger until 1995, Shaw left the company and set up his own wrestling school during the 90s. Weighing in at over 400 pounds during his WWF tenure, Shaw's colossal size would be his undoing, as his weight caused major health problems for him, and on September 11, 2010, Shaw died of a heart attack at age 53. Number 9. Brad Armstrong. Born to the legendary wrestling family, Brad Armstrong is best known as the son of Bullet Bob Armstrong and the brother of Road Dogg Jesse James. And while Brad never reached the same heights as his father and brother, he had an impressive career in his own right, which started at age 18. A multiple-time NWA Tag Team Champion, Armstrong competed for WCW from 1998 until the company's closure, primarily as a jobber, with one character of his, Buzzkill, being a clear ripoff of the Road Dogg. Becoming a fixture of the Indies, Brad would join the revamped ECW in 2006, though only competed in a few house show matches and occasionally commentated for the new brand. Retiring away from the ring, Armstrong would later take up a producing role backstage in WWE before passing away on November 1, 2012, of a suspected heart attack. A big loss to the WWE family. Fellow commentator Jim Ross described Armstrong as one of the most underrated all-time greats ever in this business. Number 8. The Wall. Standing at 6'10" and tipping the scales at 340 pounds, Jerry Tweet had all the makings of the next big star in wrestling. The personal project of Bam Bam Bigelow, Tweet received his training at the WCW power plant before debuting as The Wall, the Heavy of Berlin, and a not-so-subtle reference to the Berlin Wall, which had been toppled a decade prior. A monster heel who would leave a path of destruction in his wake, The Wall would have his biggest feud against his mentor Bam Bam before joining the WWF after the company's demise. Being granted a release for personal reasons before he ever made it on screen, Tweet would join TNA as Malice, and even appeared in the first TNA show in 2002, where he lost to Ken Shamrock in the main event for the vacant NWA World Championship. Sadly, Tweet would be found dead on December 6, 2003 in his hotel room in Japan. Like so many wrestlers, he had suffered a massive heart attack and tragically died just 36 years old. Number 7. Hector Garza. While he is best known for his time in his native Mexico, working for promotions like AAA and CMLL, Hector Garza did have some success in the United States. Appearing during a six-man tag at the 1997 Royal Rumble, Garza impressed fans, though this show was a one-time thing between WWE and AAA. Joining WCW not long after, Garza had a minimal push, appearing as a member of the LWO, and even getting an upset victory over Scott Hall. When the company folded, Garza would find his way to TNA in 2004, rising to being a leader of Team Mexico, though he was deported the next year after being caught with steroids. Returning to Mexico, Garza continued wrestling until 2012, when he took a leave to battle lung cancer. Passing away in May 2013, fans were truly shocked, as Garza was the Mexican National Heavyweight Champion at the time of his death, and the belt was retired by CMLL afterwards. Number 6. John Koronis. As part of the Eliminators, John Koronis will forever be remembered as one of the greatest tag team wrestlers in ECW history. Working alongside Perry Saturn, the pair's devastating total elimination finisher felled plenty of opponents, and the team went on to become three-time ECW Tag Team Champions. Once Saturn left for WCW in 1997, Kronus' career spiraled. While he tried to make it as a singles star, fans weren't buying it, and he was put into a tag team with New Jack, with the Gangstanators becoming ECW Tag Team Champions. Retiring from wrestling in 2001 after the closure of ECW, Kronus would lead a private life before being found dead in his fiance's home on July 18, 2007. His death, sadly, didn't come as too much of a surprise, as Kronus' family had a history of heart problems, and he had died because of an enlarged heart. Number 5. Battle Cat. Brady Boone had a very lengthy wrestling career, though few fans will remember him as anything other than his brief time in the WWE as Battle Cat. Wearing bright colorful spandex and hiding his face with a cat mask, the character was clearly dumb, though Boone made it work as much as he could with his cat-like reflexes and agility in the ring. Despite winning the majority of his matches at live events, the Battle Cat character was eventually scrapped, and Boone would join WCW in 1993. Competing in the Georgia-based promotion for a year, Boone would make little impact in the company and left in 1994. Boone would later return to WCW, but tragically died on December 15, 1998 after being a part of a fatal car accident. While Boone's career may have been forgotten by most fans, one fan who certainly looked up to him was a young man named Rob Sikowski. Inspired by Boone's unique offense in the ring, Rob would develop his skills as a wrestler and later make it big in ECW, WWE, and TNA as the whole damn show, Rob Van Dam. Number 4. Bertha Faye. When Rhonda Singh arrived in the WWE, she was different than any other woman at the time. Granted, she wasn't the fittest wrestler around, but Faye's unique look helped her build a solid career, beginning in Japan in 1979. Working as a monster heel, Singh would later join Stampede Wrestling, becoming the promotion's first women's champion in 1987 before joining the WWF 8 years later. Brought in to help the company's dwindling women's division, Singh was given the character of Bertha Faye, a simple-minded, trailer-park-living hick. As the company focused less on women's wrestling, Faye would still become the WWE Women's Champion, defeating Alundra Blaze at SummerSlam 1995, but only held the title for 57 days. Unhappy with her role in the WWE, Singh was granted her release in 1996, though returned to the spotlight 3 years later when she signed with WCW. After being used as comedy relief, Singh would leave WCW in 2000 and in 2001 died of a heart attack at the age of 40. Number 3. Al Green. Making his wrestling debut in 1990, Al Green was one part of the Master Blasters in WCW, alongside partner Steele, who would later become Kevin Nash. While his partner went on to have great success in WCW and the WWF, Green was not so lucky, as after the Master Blasters split, Green was put into a new team called the Wrecking Crew that had very little success. Returning to WCW in 1998, Green was able to pick up some singles victories, but was mostly fodder for bigger stars including Diamond Dallas Page, Curt Hennig, and Goldberg. In 2000, Green reached arguably his low point as a character, as he was rebranded as The Dog, a character who shared all the traits of a dog, including drinking out of the toilet. Created solely to feud with Ernest the Cat Miller, Green couldn't even get a win over his natural enemy, as the Cat defeated the Dog during an episode of Thunder. Following WCW's demise, health problems would plague Green for years before he passed away aged 58 in 2013. Number 2. The Zombie. When WWE brought back ECW in 2006, fans of the original promotion hoped for a return to the classic hardcore promotion. What they got instead was the Zombie. Played by Tim Roberts, the Zombie appeared on the very first episode of the new ECW, though the WWE originally wanted a Martian to appear instead, an idea shot down by the Sci-Fi Channel, who didn't want a sci-fi creature to be a punchline. Shuffling to the ring to a chorus of boos by the ECW fans, the Zombie spoke only in moans and was quickly dispatched by the Sandman, who caned the life out of the undead creature, pinning him in 10 seconds. After this debacle, the zombie would never be used on WWE TV again, though Roberts continued to use the character on the independent circuit. On the indie scene, Roberts would eventually feud with Marty Wright, who fans will remember as the Boogeyman in a battle of WWE's monsters. Unfortunately, death came for Roberts in real life as he passed away of unknown causes on January 7, 2015 at the age of 38. Number 1. Lance Cade. Being trained at the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy, it's safe to say that Lance Cade had a near-perfect start to his wrestling career. After spending some time in Japan, Cade would sign a developmental deal with WWE in 2001, making his main roster debut 2 years later, teaming with Mark Jindrak. Despite never holding the tag team titles with Jindrak, this didn't stop Cade's ambitions, as in 2005 he was partnered with Trevor Murdoch, and the pair of rednecks successfully won the World Tag Team Championships on 3 separate occasions. After splitting with Murdoch, Cade would receive a small push as he was partnered with Chris Jericho in 2008, aiding the best in the world in his feud with Shawn Michaels. Now part of the main event, Cade's star would rise when Jericho became the World Heavyweight Champion, but he was released in October after personal problems, with Jim Ross stating that Cade had made a major league mistake whilst utilizing bad judgment. Now gone from WWE, Cade would spend his final years wrestling back in Japan and on the independent scene. Sadly, on August 13, 2010, Cade died of heart failure after overdosing. He was 29 years old. Well guys, that's our list. Are there any other wrestler deaths you may think that have been forgotten over the years? If so, drop us a comment down below and let us know. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.